outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. I'm on my phone, which I typically don't use to go live. So it's been a while, even though I used it earlier today. If you was checking me out on the live, I had a few issues trying to get the operational part of it under control. So I'm gonna do my best to not fumble the ball on this one. Let's see, what's up, Sandra? Who is that? Brick City, Jersey, what it do? What's up? LG Henry, what's up? Joseph Hudson. Khalif Davis. Victoria, what's up? What's up? Israel. Well, all right. I see you, Rodney. Capital Boy. Gina J. Was it Angel Heaven? That's a good one to start on, fam. Right there. Let's go in right there. Let's stop right there with Angel. I'll come back to chat. But going in, fam. According to China, the U.S. is the biggest source of world chaos and the greatest threat to international security. Who believe that? Give me a thumbs up if you believe that. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, China, they tripping, man. U.S. ain't no greatest threat to international security. China tripping. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that the United States, according to China, if you believe that the United States is the biggest source of world chaos and the greatest threat to international security. Give me a thumbs up. Brick City up. You're only up. TDC up. Texas up. Gregory up. Norvell up. Lloyd up. Omar X up. Mario up. Damn, y'all ain't got no faith in the U.S.? Up. Rodney Floyd up. George up. Okay, somebody said down. Who said down? Down. John down. John don't believe it. John said down. U.S. ain't the biggest threat to world security, to international security. Okay, let me tell you what I think about it. I believe China is full of truth. I believe they're right on the money. And anybody with truth in them would come to the exact same conclusion. Anybody that's over, let's say, maybe 5 years old would come to that exact same conclusion. You know how you can come to, you know why it's easy to come to that conclusion? Look at all the wars that happened throughout history. Look at all of the wars, the big ones and the small ones. Look at all of those wars. How many times has the U.S. had their hands in those wars? Like out of all the countries out there, out of all the countries, who has had their hands in more wars? Who got more blood on their hands than any other country? What presidents got more blood on their hands than any other country? I subscribe to you. The United States of America, Exhibit A, the United States of America, blood, 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 bodies everywhere. Body after body after body after body. It's people getting killed right now at the behest of the U.S. government right now. Innocent people are dying right now, being murdered, slaughtered right now at the behest of the U.S. government, and we have no idea. Because some of us only know what we see on TV. If CNN don't show it, if Fox don't show it, if MSNBC, CBS, NBC, CBS don't show it, we pretty much ain't gonna see it. Or we're not gonna even investigate. We're not gonna look in it. We're not gonna even look beyond the US. One of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life was to live overseas when I lived in Azerbaijan. I got to see a wider scope of the world. I got to see other people, how other people live and other people think and how other people behave. And I got to see how other governments operated when it came to their citizens. And let me tell you something, fam. Even the poorest countries that I visited while I was in Azerbaijan, in fact, Azerbaijan was one of the poorest countries. By the time I left, it wasn't one of the richest countries, but it wasn't poor anymore because of the oil, right? Even though those people didn't have everything, they had a government that was at least trying to do right by their people, by its people. They was trying to do right. See, some countries are not as rich in resources as, let's say, many countries in Africa, right? Africa is, if some of the leaders in Africa would do right by the people, you wouldn't have the situation that you have in those countries. If the leaders, the so-called leaders, would do right by the people, many of the leaders have been bought and paid for. They just sold the people out. They just sold the people out. Yeah, I ain't worried about it, homie. I got it on me. You know, I got it on me. I got it on me. So, anyway, fam, the way I see it, China is absolutely right. If you look at the wars that have happened over time, yeah, other countries have started wars, but the U.S. got more blood on his hands than any other country. Easily. It ain't even close. Except little brother Britain. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Little brother Britain. Ooh, all of the fake jewels and the big horses and the big gates and the prince and the princess and the king and the queen and the murderers. Nothing but bodies dropping they got blood on their hands. And we ain't talking about those kids that went missing when Queen Elizabeth and a couple of her people went on that trip. And those kids went out in that forest and those kids never came back. We ain't gonna even talk about that. I absolutely believe what China said. Before they had even spoke on it, in fact, they had said something about it. I remember back in 2023, October 2023, they stepped out and said something along those lines about the U.S. being the biggest world threat. Think about it, fam. China ain't, bombing people every other month, every other week, every other year. We talk about China. We love to talk about how China is the biggest threat. Now, China is not the biggest world threat. China is the biggest threat to putting something on the U.S. ass if they get out of pocket. That's what China is. So a lot of people are scared of that because they know the United States is full of bullies. And they know China is that country that the U.S. cannot bully. They can talk all they want, but they can't bully China, and they can't fool China with that so-called humanitarian efforts going in to bomb something and kill something and remove a president because they're treating their people bad. They talk all that stuff about how China do their people bad, but they ain't never went over there and tried to take out no president because they know how it's gonna go. But when they look at a little small country like Iran, Iraq, they go out there and take them people president like it ain't nothing, just take them out. Because they small, little old bitty country that can't defend themselves against somebody as big as the U.S. But they not gonna try that with China. And that's what a lot of Americans are more afraid. That's why more Americans are afraid of China than anybody, because they know China will put it on the U.S. ass. That's why. It's not that they fear China because China is full of a bunch of villains and bad people. China really got their head down. They're really about building. They're more about building than destroying. We're more about destroying over here. We do a lot of destroying in the U.S. China, every time we look up in China, we don't see China destroying stuff. We see China building. China is building. When we see China, when we see their little kids, we don't see their kids talking about sex and wrap it up and shooting people and all that kind of stuff and twerking and all that. We see their little kids taking trades as young as 4 and 5 years old. They doing military training. They doing academic exercises. We see China building. We see China growing. That's what we see when we see China. We see China built this. China built the greatest this right here. China going into different countries and building. And then what China is not doing, they're not going in destroying countries and then faking like they helping to rebuild the country, right? They're not going in bombing countries, destroying countries, and then coming back dropping food out the sky and acting like they're rebuilding the country, you know, creating chaos and then play the hero. That's the MO. It's easy, baby. This is easy. This is rudimentary stuff. All you got to do is just watch how they move. And the same play get ran over and over and over and over and over again. You know how it go, fam. Just get a ball to Earl Campbell. He going to get us 5 yards at least every single time. He going to get us 5 yards. They do the same thing every single time. Go in, create chaos, and then swoop in to play the hero. Every single enemy that the United States had was once the United States' friend. It's the same play over and over and over again. When we see the United States go in building a country, we don't see the United States just going in and to a different country, another country, and just go in building. It's always got to be a war first. It's got to be some bombs first. Bombing stuff. Whereas when China go in, even though they might be out of pocket and even though they got an ulterior motive, their ulterior motive is to get more money, more power. We know that's the ultimate goal. But they don't go in bombing and killing and raping and pillaging to get there. They go in and say, yo, let's do some business. Yo, you know, y'all need money, you know what I'm saying? You know, and we want money. We want money too. We want some power. We want some land. You know, how can we do business? And the next thing you know, they done built up something. Whereas the United States go in and destroy first. They seek and destroy. And then they come back, and then after it's so bad, after they done destroy the country so bad and broke the will of the people so bad where people are out and hungry and starving, they ain't got nowhere to live. And they so desperate for some help that they'll accept help from their known outright enemy, their open enemy. They'll accept help because they're so desperate. Now, I know some of y'all don't like me saying what I'm saying, but catch me if I'm lying. You can't call me a liar. This is the game. So China ain't did nothing wrong. They ain't said nothing wrong. They ain't said nothing wrong. China is doing what any business person would do. If you can go in and make some more money over here, cut a deal over here, you cut a deal. China cutting deals. We talk about how China cutting deals in Africa all the time, how they go over there getting land and all that stuff, which I really don't like. I wish the Africans didn't have to do business with them. I wish they could do their own thing, and wish they can, but they don't have proper leadership. But they could do their own thing, but they got their leaders keep selling them out. But we like to talk about China taking over stuff in Africa all the time. Man, you'd be so surprised how much stuff China owns right here in the U.S. You'd be surprised how many companies China got their hands in their pockets. China is running. Man, China owns so much in the United States. Man, why you think the United States, when the United States talk down on China, they're biting the hand that feed them, because the United States owe China. China don't owe U.S. They don't owe the U.S. no money. The U.S. owe China money. China don't owe the U.S. any money. China don't owe U.S. anything. The U.S. owes China. So let's call a strike and a ball a ball. One thing that I like about China is China overall, the people in China, the way that they think, I think like that. I'm built like that. I'm built like, nah, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't need nobody I don't need no cosign. I don't need no big brother. I don't need that. I need allies. I need allies, but I'm not counting on no allies. I defend myself. It's just like people always talk about bodyguards. No, man, can't nobody guard my body better than me. I'm my best bodyguard I'll ever have. I'm the one, I'm constantly thinking about me. I might have a bodyguard and he might get distracted by a fat ass. He might get distracted by what he got going on at home. I done dropped my guard because I got this so-called bodyguard supposed to be looking at. But I keep my head on a swivel because I'm all I got. Can't nobody guard my body better than me. So I'm watching it. I'm watching. I'm checking. I'm looking. I'm always on guard. Yeah, so I like China. I like how China get down. China know that they ain't got nothing to worry about when it come to the U.S. because China mind their own business. They go in and they do their thing. They go in and they make business. They make business deals. They ain't going in forcing their way into Africa. They ain't going in killing people, shooting people, dropping bombs, destroying communities, and then doing that fake love like they faking to rebuild it and helping the people. They ain't doing none of that. And then setting up embassies. They're not going in, identifying the leader, spending months or years making the leader look like a bad guy to the rest of the world. So when you go in and kill him, the rest of the world will feel like he deserved it. Then go in, bombing, killing everything, destroying all the buildings and the schools and the hospitals, cutting off the bridges, blowing up the bridges, tainting the water supply, bringing the country to its knees, where the people just start begging their open enemy for help. Here they come with the resources. Boom, boom, boom. Now the U.S. get all the credit for restoring order when they're the ones who created the chaos in the first place. It's the same old play. And then once they get in, they take over the resources. They put somebody else in. They put a president in who they can control. They put in other leaders that they can control. They set up shop. They set up an embassy. They moved the military in. And now they got a military presence in that country. That's the game. And China peeped the game. But China ain't tripping. China say, you know what? We're going to make some moves like that too, but we ain't going to kill people to do it. We just going to come in and do some business. Now, while they doing business, it is true that they do got some shady people that come from China that go out there and treat them Africans real dirty. They do them bad, which that's the Africans' fault for allowing them to do them bad. Cause I don't give a damn who they is. I don't care what kind of money they working with. Man, they can come in there. You mean to tell me 5 people gonna control 500 people? Man, I don't care what kind of guns they got. What they got, man? Man, come on, fam. I be seeing some of these, you know, because they'll send their uncivilized mutts, kind of like Europe did. They'll send their uncivilized mutts to colonize. Yeah, fam, gotta figure it out. I'm not mad. But look, fam, one last time, let me just check the temperature, make sure I know what's going on, make sure I ain't in this all by myself, make sure I got it right. Just one more check. Give me a thumbs up. Now, China has said that the U.S. is the biggest source of world chaos and the greatest threat to international security. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that's true. Thumbs down if you disagree. Let's see. Miss Jazzy is in the building. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Troy up. Ooh, that chat moving fast. Wiley Will up. Mike up. Aaron Flowers up. Sean up. Reality up. Roy Taylor up. Truth up. Desmond up. Miss Reed up. Chad X up. Cornelius Jones up. And my time is up. I appreciate y'all for joining the live, fam. I said it was going to be a quick live. But yeah, y'all keep it coming, man. Keep on throwing them up, man. Let me know what you think about that, man. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that the U.S. is the biggest source of world chaos and the greatest threat to international security. Thumbs down if you disagree. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, fam, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.